What's up, everybody? It's the Two Fake Bones.
We are back with the second part of our 3 ways God leads. We will be talking about how God leads in our dreams and our calling. The first way that God leads in our dreams. Number 1, we want to labor with God. And the verse we really just love to hang on to and think about all the time is Psalms 127:1. Except the Lord build the house, they labor in vain that build it.
I think this really started too when we were writing our album, and a couple years ago when we were just sort of like in our little closet, and God was giving you so many just like downloads of like different things to write about, and it was really just we were so involved with Him in that process. We were very much we were praying before our sessions, and it was like a very different approach to the creative process, I think, that as compared to what we had done in the past.
Absolutely.
And then from that time until we were writing Holy Spirit Lead, there was time off for pregnancy, health, building the house. But when we got back into it in writing and knowing like this is what we want to do, Holy Spirit Lead next, we're just like if we're gonna continue with our creativity, continue with this music, like we want to bring God into every session, to every brainstorming meeting, before every video. And just as a way of acknowledging Him and saying, first of all, like we thank you for these gifts. We thank you for giving us the gift to create, giving us the gift to make music, and we want to like glorify you in this. And so, guide the session. Give us ideas that we can't get on our own.
Yeah.
And there's still sessions. I would say there's still times when like, it's maybe ideas don't flow as freely, or the videos don't go as well, but it's still like. It's like He's still like the bedrock of it all, and being like, okay, well, He still got us. We're still doing it with Him, and He always seems to thread like a silver lining through everything. Yeah.
So number 2 is keeping Him at the center, and we have gone through a lot of different seasons with our relationship with God, and there has definitely been times when we haven't been walking nearly as close as we are even right now in our walk with Him. And we know that we can check things off the success list. Like, we work hard, we can get things done. We know how to be strategic. We know how to do all that stuff. And sure, we can check it off the list and do it and get it done. But we've noticed such a significant difference is when we do it with God at the center of everything. It's so much richer and so much fuller, and the surprises are like unreal, and there's so much less fear and so much less anxiety. And
it's not all on your shoulders.
It's not on your shoulders. Like God, every good gift comes from God, and there's just like so much goodness and so much fullness when we keep Him at the center of everything that we're doing. Number 3 is keeping our identity in Him. And what I mean by that is it's not like Pete, producer, Hannah, singer, songwriter, and all this stuff. I've been reading the Old Testament, and when Moses and Joshua both died, it just said Joshua, servant of the Lord. Moses, servant of the Lord. There isn't any other titles like great speaker or, great soldier, all these things.
Author of the 10 Commandments.
Yeah, exactly. And it was just servant. And so it's not easy to like not want to live in those like influencer, rock star, like a singer, a songwriter, all those things, but like detaching those from us and just know, okay, who are we at the end of the day? Our end of the day, like our identity is God. We're son and daughter of the Most High King. And that's who our identity is rooted in, because all those other things can just get taken away like in a second. And so at the core of who we are, like keeping that identity. And I think with that, as far as like even the inner critic that's inside of us, or those like fear-based thoughts, is knowing like, okay, we are fearfully and wonderfully made. Like wonderfully made. Like God made us with wonder, and we're wonderfully made. So knowing that, like, okay, the days that I feel like, okay, I'm not like, the best singer in the world, or, this song was really, I don't think it's very good that I wrote. It's like not doing that self-deprecating feelings, but knowing, okay, this is my calling, and I'm believing for it, and I have faith that God's put this on my life, and this is the song I have to offer to Him, and this is, I'm giving it my all and resting in that in that fearfully and wonderfully made.